Robert Andry is now 98 years old. When we spoke with him in 2022, he told us about being wounded in combat during World War II while serving on a Sherman tank.
And I was looking to the left, and then when the tank commander said, right, right, and by the time I was able to turn it around to right, when I got to right, first thing was facing me was a German bazooka.
Andry served in the 761st Tank Battalion under General George Patton. The unit was made up of mostly African-American soldiers finally called into combat in 1944. They called themselves the Black Panthers.
And all I can remember is a few feet that when it got to the tank, and it hit the tank right in front of me as when I was operating the guns.
Andry was recently featured in a documentary for the History Channel as one of the last surviving members of the 761st. He spoke to Academy Award-winning actor, host, and producer Morgan Freeman.
Mr. Freeman,
I got so much stuff to throw at you. You ready?
The documentary Black Patriots, the 761st Battalion, is about the first black tank unit to serve in combat.
But for whatever reason, their records don't exist.
And the racism and oppression they faced at home. The documentary even received recognition from Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin, who is also featured, along with a press gathering at the Pentagon. But it was decades after combat in World War II that Andry received any recognition. In March of 2022, he finally received the medals he earned. One of those, a Purple Heart. The 761st earned 300 Purple Hearts during their time in combat in 1944 and 1945.
And the next thing I knew, I was being drug out of the tank, and I came to. And that's when they pulled me out of the tank.
Fellow soldiers wrapped his wounds and buried him in a hastily dug trench to keep him safe during the inferno of combat.
I was there for about 10 hours.
Believe it or not, it was a little more than a dozen years ago when his family even heard the story of Andry's time in combat, even though they knew he'd been wounded.
Even today, we continue to hear new parts of the story.
And while he didn't talk much about it, Andry has lived with the wounds he received in war all these years.
You can feel it, you can see it there. It's separated right there.
And it's why Robert Andry is our Serving Those Who Serve hero. Bill Riles, WKRG News 5.